Welcome into the Week 5 recap. As always, we start with redraft. Left's Cheers 3-2 defeats Nico's League 3-2, 143.71 to 122.58. Left's Cheers overcame Nico's League in a well-fought battle, riding strong performances from Geno Smith and James Cook. Smith's 284 yards and single touchdown performance, along with Cook's 82 rushing yards and a trip to the end zone, helped Left's Cheers maintain a lead throughout. Despite Daniel Jones putting up a solid 24 points for Nico's League, it wasn't enough to offset lower contributions from other players. The loss sends Nico's League to regroup for next week's matchup. Scoob the Delinquent 4-1 defeats Washington Rednecks 2-3, 175.84 to 118.15. Scoob the Delinquent makes quick work of the Washington Rednecks with a complete team performance, led by Lamar Jackson's monstrous 35-point effort alongside the same from Joe Burrow. Scoob the Delinquent puts this game way out of reach. The Washington Rednecks had Jamar Chase near 40-point performance, but being attached to Burrow held them back from making a comeback. Scoob continues their winning streak, moving to 4-1. The Red Carpets 2-3 defeats Steel Curtain 1-4, 155.24 to 117.21. The Red Carpets finally find a stellar outing, comfortably defeating Steel Curtain. A huge performance from Drake London on Thursday Night Football set the tone, hauling in 154 yards and a touchdown on 12 receptions for 9 first downs. For Steel Curtain, Kyler Murray put up a solid 25.7 points, but their supporting cast didn't step up, leading to their 4th loss of the season. No pun intended, 3-2 defeats Gumpy Glizzies 3-2, 161.34 to 98.61. No pun intended dominated Gumpy Glizzies, who struggled across the board with subpar performances. Joe Flacco subs in for the injured Anthony Richardson and posts 29.56 points for NPI, with Packers tight end Tucker Kraft adding 22.7 points of his own in the 4 p.m. Sunday window. Gumpy Glizzy saw an underwhelming outing from Aaron Rodgers and Devon Achane, leaving them no chance to compete in this one. Both teams now sit at 3-2. Nico's League 2-3 defeats Bills Mafia 2-3, 140.25 to 92.92. Nico's League secured a much-needed victory over Bills Mafia thanks to a dominant showing from Kirk Cousins, who put up 36.76 points with a massive 509-yard, 4-touchdown performance on Thursday night. Garrett Wilson also contributed with 101 receiving yards and a touchdown, adding 20.72 points to the total. Bills Mafia struggled to keep pace, especially after starting players on bye. It likely wouldn't have mattered, though, as Nico's League dismantles them thoroughly. Our Week 6 redraft power rankings, as always, starting from the bottom at number 10, moving down 1 spot, the Red Carpets. At number 9, moving up 1 spot, the Stoners. At number 8, moving down 1 spot, Steel Curtain. At number 7, moving up 1 spot, Washington Rednecks. At number 6, moving down 1 spot, Bills Mafia. At number 5, moving down 1 spot, Gumpy Glizzies. At number 4, moving up 2 spots, Scoob the Delinquent. At number 3, staying put, Nico's League. At number 2, staying put, Leftist Cheers. And remaining in the number 1 spot is, no pun intended. Our Week 6 redraft game of the week is Nico's League 3-2 versus Scoob the Delinquent 4-1. With Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson on bye, Nico's League faces an uphill battle against the league's top team in Scoob the Delinquent. If Scoob moves to 5-1, it'll be hard to keep them out of the top 5 come season's end. All right, let's get into Dynasty. Prestige Worldwide 2-3 defeats the Scoob Empire 2-3, 121.18 to 113.54. Prestige Worldwide pulls off a narrow victory over the Scoob Empire, riding a balanced effort from their roster. James Cook heavily contributed with 82 yards and a touchdown, putting up 17.4 points, while Mike Evans added 20.7 points with 2 touchdowns on Thursday night. The Scoob Empire fought hard behind a solid performance from Baker Mayfield, who threw for 3 touchdowns and totaled 25 points, but they couldn't overcome lackluster contributions from key players like Amari Cooper and Marvin Harrison Jr. Prestige Worldwide moves up to 2-3, while the Scoob Empire drops to the same record. Gump Dynasty 5-0 defeats Cumber Dynasty 2-3, 137.42 to 129.12. This one came down to Monday Night Football, as Cumber Dynasty needed Saints running back Alvin Kamara to eclipse 16.1 points to give Gump Dynasty what would have been their first loss. Kamara had only been short of that number once this season and has had multiple 20-plus pointers on the young season. Cumber Dynasty wasn't so fortunate this week, as Kamara chooses the worst timing to barely crack the 8-point mark and end up well shy of the needed team total. Gump Dynasty benefited greatly due to a standout performance from the Raiders rookie tight end Brock Bowers, Gump's recent rookie draft pick. He went for 97 yards, a touchdown, and 18.7 fantasy points on the way to Gump Dynasty's 5th win in as many weeks. Nico's Dream Team 4-1 defeats Stratton Oakmont Inc. 3-2, 146.94 to 136.76. Nico's Dream Team continues their dominant run, beating Stratton Oakmont Inc. with a massive 35.42-point game from Lamar Jackson, who totaled 348 yards and 4 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift contributed 19.5 points of his own, keeping the team in a strong position. For Stratton Oakmont Inc., Jamar Chase exploded for 36.3 points with 193 yards and 2 touchdowns, but it wasn't enough to catch up as other key players underperformed. Nico's Dream Team improves to 4-1, putting themselves in perfect position for the playoff hunt. I Am They 2-3 defeats Sneaky Raccoon 74, 0-5, 122.42 to 115.68. On Sunday, after the 1 p.m. window had already started, I Am They made a big move, trading Alvin Kamara to Cumber Dynasty for their 2025 first-round pick. In what was clearly a move that was looking toward the future, it had ramifications on this week. Kamara couldn't be started, and the 1 p.m. window was already in play, so I Am They had to go down to Kareem Hunt filling in for injuries in the Chiefs' backfield on Monday night. I Am They also had Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed playing, but Sneaky Raccoons seemed poised to snatch their first win of the season with Pat Mahomes and the Travis Kelce combo. That combo heavily disappointed and didn't even combine for over 25 points. Meanwhile, Shaheed and Hunt had monster games combining for 36.3 fantasy points and cruising I Am They to a surprise victory over a winless Sneaky Raccoon 74. Back to the ramifications, though, as Alvin Kamara disappointed in Kansas City, racking up only 8.3 fantasy points. Had the trade not gone through this week, I Am They would have certainly had Kamara in the starting role over Hunt, which would have in turn lost them the fantasy game. Our Week 6 Dynasty Power Rankings, starting at the bottom at number 8, not moving, is I Am They. At number 7, not moving, is Prestige Worldwide. At number 6, moving down 1 spot, Sneaky Raccoon 74. At number 5, moving up 1 spot, Nico's Dream Team. At number 4, not moving, the Scoop Empire. At number 3, staying put, Cumber Dynasty. At number 2, not moving, Stratton Oakmont Inc., and remaining at the number 1 spot is the undefeated Gump Dynasty. Our Week 6 game of the week in Dynasty is the Scoop Empire 2-3 versus Gump Dynasty 5-0. Not many buys in this matchup should lead to an entertaining fantasy game. We could have a running back showdown as Austin Eckler and the Commanders will play Derrick Henry and the Ravens on Sunday, each of those players representing their respective fantasy teams in this matchup. That will do it for our Week 5 recap. We will see everybody in Week 6.